This is Shaun Sport in podcast form.
All right, let's start off with Minjee Lee, West Australian
Amazing.
Zone. West Australian Zone. She's just completed taking out her third major ever.
Yeah.
US LPGA title.
Well said.
And she won it by 4 shots. She was in front. She didn't have the greatest of days today, but it was tough conditions, nor did anybody else. And the best part about from Minjee is the last 5 holes, the girl that was in second position had already finished, so she knew that
Yes.
that girl was at 1 under. She knew she just keep playing.
But sometimes that can get in your head. Yeah. But she's so calm. She's very measured, very controlled.
I'm going to contribute here for the first time ever. I've read Agassi's book. It's a really good biography, but how much...
Famous golfer.
You're talking about tennis.
No. Are you serious?
Minjee Lee.
That is I know you're
Min
filling
Woo.
in for Nathan, but that was an
That's a Nathan
especially
call. That's a
Nathan
Nathan
call.
I drift in and out.
Minjee
Okay,
Lee is a
anyway, give us a
golfer.
quick rundown
Okay.
of Agassi's book.
It's not relevant whatsoever. It's very mental, the game in tennis, which it would be in golf as well. So
Yes, it's very mental. Yes, well done.
it's in your head, right?
And both Minjee and Min Woo have been able to master that to a fair degree.
That's what I was going with.
And it's fantastic. By the way, Andre Agassi, Josh Carr, when I was playing with him at Fremantle, when he was at Port Adelaide, he was able to go to Andre Agassi's house and have a barbecue dinner at their
cool.
joint
Did
because
Steffi cook or?
Steffi did
Yeah,
cook.
she's on the top.
And she was doing the lettuces, the salads
Yeah.
and stuff, and just a typical
random.
family. And Andre's on the barbecue, just doing a couple of steaks for the boys.
What a legend. It's a great book.
Yeah.
It's
So
a great
thanks
book.
for bringing it up. Not
Yeah.
relevant at all, but
Yeah,
thanks for bringing it up.
Darren by the way, this is the link. Darren Cahill was Andre Agassi's coach.
Yes.
Darren Cahill was an Australian tennis player until he retired, obviously, and he was a massive Port Adelaide fan. So Josh Carr and a
was
few
the
Port
tie-in.
Adelaide guys were able to go there, and so they lived in Las Vegas, by the way,
Wow.
Agassi, and they just
Yep.
went to their house and had barbecue.
Agassi
And
always
Steffi's
relevant to whatever.
making a potato salad. That would be the highlight of my
I know.
world.
Do you know,
Steffi
he
grabbing
once
the
got a
kitchen.
truckload of Oakleys, Agassi, because he wore Oakleys in a photo that got the front of a magazine, and they were so thankful for that they gave him a whole truckload of Oakleys. What else is in the sport, Shaun?
Okay, keep staying. We'll go back to Minjee Lee, by the way. So she's won, so that's her third major. She's going particularly well. And she's won $15.5 million in prize money.
Great work. Well done.
Amazing
Wow.
so far.
Well done.
I was trying to look at her, she's got a massive list of sponsorship when you look on her website. And so she's got major partners. There's 3 major partners. One of them's Callaway, obviously
Yes.
a golfing apparel. And the other one's another golfing shop that also do outdoor stuff and whatever. Then there's Aon, which is AON. I think they're
That's
like
an insurance company. Yep.
massive insurance company. They're the top level. Then she's got a tier group that you can be associated, that she's an ambassador for, and the list is enormous. Couldn't even go through
Yeah.
them.
She's like
so
a
she's doing
corporation.
particularly well.
Yeah,
she is. Yeah.
She is. But she works so hard. She's somebody that really deserves it. She really put in the hard yards as a junior, definitely.
Yeah. And Ross, you did mention it. The golf is all about being able to deal with the situation,
Yep.
staying in the moment as much as possible. And her and her brother have been able to do that at such a young age. They've got a massive career ahead of them still to go.
Yeah.
Another 10, 20 years in the sport. Even better that when you get to 50, you go and play in the old...
Yeah, in the senior circuit.
Yeah, the senior circuit.
It doesn't stop. It's
Crazy.
amazing, isn't it?
I did say I was going to talk about AFL, and I'll get through this really quickly. If you're Michael Voss at Carlton, you're in all sorts of trouble at the moment. The supporters and some of the
they've
media
turned.
in particular over there are gunning for him to lose his job.
Yep.
I do feel so. I'm a big Michael Voss fan because he's one of my favourite players of all time. And I was always hopeful he would be successful at his second stint in coaching.
Yes.
He didn't go too well at Brisbane, but then his stint at Carlton, there looked like there could be some really good moments. They're a team that was shot to pieces with injuries, so I hope people factor that in making a decision on him.
But they never seem to, Shaun.
No.
It's literally just what the wins are.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's
Yeah.
your win-loss record, regardless of the situation behind it.
Yeah, and they're a big-time club, so you can imagine the people getting behind the story over there and just running wild with it. I was watching Fox over the weekend, and one journalist in particular was on 3 different shows, and every time he was starting.
Yeah.
What do you do with Michael Voss? And he was asking all the different commentators. Then the next day he was on another show, and so, Jono, what would you do with Michael Voss? The
Oh, yes.
jungle drums are beating, you know?
The jungle drums are beating by me. I'm beating the jungle drums. Yeah.
Most
But that's the
definitely.
way it works.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's brutal.
Yeah, it is brutal. And the Gold Coast Suns have found themselves outside the top of the 8 for the first time this year, although they've got a game in hand after O-Round was
That's
put
right.
to bed. Their game against Geelong was kibosh due to the weather, so they've still got a game up their sleeve. It's not the end of the world for them. They kicked 3 goals 10 from set shots yesterday.
Oh.
That's the difference in the game. As
Yeah,
West Coast Eagles supporters will know.
we remember. We
against
remember
North
Bunbury.
Melbourne.
Are you done?
Done.
All right. Ross, what sports did we just cover?
Lots of them.
Nailed it.
Shaun Sport in podcast form.
Hey, we didn't mention earlier on, but a big congratulations to Minjee Lee, who was able to take out her
good.
third major this morning. So it was $1.8 million she walked away with US for winning the tournament. It takes her career prize pull up to about $15.5 million.
Lovely.
Which
Plus
is awesome.
endorsements. Yep.
On the money factor, Carlos Alcaraz won the Queen's Club tournament, which is a
This is
£400,000.
tennis, Ross.
Yeah,
We're
thank
changing,
you.
Ross, to just, yep.
Agassiz sport, tennis.
Tennis Ross got confused earlier this morning.
He's unbeaten in 16 matches, so he won. I think it was the Italian Open. He went to the French Open,
Yeah.
and then he went to Queen's Club, which is the lead up to
Yes,
Wimbledon. And his career prize money is now topped $40 million US.
How old is he? Like 21 or something?
Oh, yeah,
What is he? He's a kid, isn't
22
he?
probably
Yeah.
by
Do you
now.
I think I should get the 2 young boys of mine into
Yes.
golf or tennis.
One of
That's
each.
a really
One of
good
each. Just,
idea.
Or get
hedge
them
your
to-
bets.
Yeah, because you don't want them to do both because you want them to specialise, right? So you get them in all in.
The longevity of golf is enormous, but to be able to go from, a +3 golfer, for example, to scratch and then minus, the card, like, I think it's Tiger Woods night. He might be plus. No, so he's -6. So when he used to go out and play at his local course, he gives the tournament 6 shots.
Wow.
Amazing stuff. Does that make any sense?
No, that was like
People that
friends.
don't
That
understand
was
handicapping are just what's going on. I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, the British and Irish Lions have just landed in Perth this morning, everyone. This
Hello,
is a big
Governor.
deal. Absolutely. They don't come here every day. And for the rugby union fans or just following the British and Irish Lions,
Yes.
which is all of our geezers out there, will think this is amazing. So the Western Force are playing them on June 28 at Optus Stadium. It'll be huge.
Yeah, that's going to be massive.
Moving on to the NBA, which I did mention earlier on, the Pacers and OKC are playing at the moment. It's in the second quarter. There's about a point in it.
Oh, you've got it up there. How
Yeah,
we
got it
going?
in it. We've gone to an ad.
I was
Are you
going to
watching it
that.
while we're on air?
Yes,
Of
he
course I
is.
am, Ross.
You've
Please.
done this before. You've watched
That was the surfing.
No,
Yeah.
you've watched the races while you're on stage at
yeah.
Mandurah Crab Fest, haven't you?
Yep.
And you had your phone in
Yes.
the little cooker.
True. That's all true.
So the Indiana Pacers have never won the NBA title. 1967 is when they came into the competition, and they lost once, which is in 2000. They made it to the finals. They lost to the LA Lakers, which was Shaq and Kobe combination there.
Yeah.
Reggie Miller was the Pacer who was shooting the lights out, and he was one of the greatest NBA three-point specialists we've ever seen. In fact, he was the league leader until Steph Curry knocked him off a couple of years ago. And now it's like almost 1,000 ahead, that kind of thing.
And the Thunder, they're the team that traded Josh Giddey away.
They did.
So he's sitting there going, oh, that could have been me.
So the Thunder have never won it as well, but they are a change team. So they used to be the Seattle Supersonics.
Yes.
But now in 2012, they become the OKC
They relocated.
So
Yeah.
the Supersonics won a title early days, like
Right.
back in the halcyon
But
days.
they haven't won as the Thunder.
No, they haven't won as the Thunder as well. Both teams have got some superstars
I
out
do
there.
love the fact that it's Oklahoma City and Indiana. So they're
big markets,
no,
that.
they're not big markets. They're
Yeah.
not. These are kind of your more rural regional states, if you like, but comparatively to your big, your LAs and your Chicagos and your New York. So I like
definitely.
that. I like that they're having a crack at it.
No, I agree wholeheartedly. And the big name in the NBA, Kevin Durant, has been traded to the Houston Rockets. He's been in the league for 16 years. His contract's worth about $53 million per season. And he got traded for a couple of players plus a handful of picks.
So essentially for 8 players when you break it down. It's like they won Kevin Durant and they got 8 players in return between the future picks and things like that.
For Kevin's
Slim
ego.
Reaper.
Isn't it just?
I'm worth 8.
I'm worth 8.
At least.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm with
Yeah,
8
what a
NBA
freak.
players. Nice. And the West Coast Fever got a win on Friday night. Thanks for bringing it up, Shaun. And yesterday, I didn't even know they had a reserve side, but their reserves team took out the flag yesterday.
Yes,
including
yes,
Kelsey
they
Brown.
did.
She was playing for them. They took on the Mavericks and took out the title. Well done.
And so was Sloane Burton. Shout
Yes, she
out to
was.
Sloane Burton.
Yep. It was a convincing win.
Well done, the girls.
Yep. And so the West Coast Fever, they're still equal top of the ladder with the Swifts. The Swifts clawed it back yesterday after nearly going down to the Giants.
I know we're on a bit of a tear at the moment now, but I do feel like, I know that Dan put in the paper we've got to stay there because top two, home finals and all that kind of stuff. But I do feel like we're due a loss just for the fact to get you hungry and keep you on the edge.
Get that grit back. I know what you're saying. Well, they nearly lost on Friday night. It was tight. It was they battled it out and really worked very hard to pull back ahead in that final quarter. Well fought.
Well, you know what happens if you win the last quarter, you
win the last
quarter. Famously.
Shaun Sport is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.